Hey everyone, welcome to the High Priestess Demari channel and into another collective reading. I hope you're all doing well. So we're just going to dive in as always, see what you need to know. Keep in mind it is a general reading and it's also timeless. It's not going to resonate for everyone. Also, my readings tap into past, present and future energies, depending on where you are in your journey. So let's see, what is it that you need to know? So we have Uriel, Angel of Flame. Powerful. Wow. Tell me more. Chesed, right hand, empathy. Beautiful. And one more. We have Chiligliel, Angel of Snow. And at the bottom, Liliel, Angel of Night. This is a beautiful combination, okay? So it was actually Spirit that guided me to grab this deck. I've not used it for a while. But I'll be honest with you, the Angelarium is one of my favorites of all time. It's just such a perfect deck in my opinion for many reasons. But we'll get into it another time. Maybe I'll discuss, maybe do some videos discussing my, decks and why I use them and what I love about them. But anyway, amazing combination here. This is about integration. This is about the journey of the soul, the self, okay, going through the different stages and processes in order to reach ultimately an understanding of one's internal world, okay? And so with Uriel, I feel like Uriel's energy has been coming through as a guide for you, okay? Especially those of you who went through, the dark night of the soul recently, okay? You may felt like this has been an ongoing and extended process, okay? Through this journey, you may have felt like you were constantly being pushed and tested and tried in many different ways. You may have felt like you've come up against many different adversities, okay, or people who take on the energy of the adversary, devil energy, okay. But this is all part of the process. And the idea is to create some kind of deep internal understanding of the purification process you're going through, okay? So it's not enough to just simply go through it. The divine needed you to understand why it's happening, okay? So part of it is leading you to that uncovering and understanding of why you needed to go through this very intense process, okay? Because there were energy signatures, there were things that were attached to you, that were a part of you, okay? They were essentially keeping you in the dark, keeping you blindfolded, keeping you from seeing your divine spark, stopping you from seeing that your inner child needed your support, needed your healing, needed your attention, your love. That this great heart of yours, this empathy that you have, needs to also be extended to yourself, okay? So there could have been an aspect of self that was in an energy of self-loathing or even exhibiting behaviors akin to self-hatred, self-sabotage, or self-denial, okay? It's going to be different for different people, okay? So whatever that detrimental programming was, okay, that would essentially lead to you self-sabotaging, that is what's being rewritten, that's what's being purified, that's what's being processed, okay? So that is a mammoth undertaking. And so I feel like Uriel has been your guide through the internal hellscape, okay, through your own internal, internal abyss in order for you to reach this understanding, okay? And so those aspects of self, I don't even feel like are aspects of self, but just programs, okay? Like it's almost like rogue programs, malware that's been running in the background is finally being destroyed, okay, is being purified, is being burnt away. And that's what's happening, okay? Does that mean you no longer have a shadow? Absolutely not. Of course, your shadow is still very present, but these are the more detrimental aspects of the shadow, okay? And so I feel like, when it comes to just the general aspects that are incorporated in your shadow, those things are being seen, they're being healed, they're being looked at, and they're being integrated, okay? But I'm talking about, energies that are extremely low vibrational, that have been attached to you for a long period of time, either through traumatic experiences you've had, encounters, connections you've had to certain people who carry a very dark aura or have a very dark aura or energy signature, okay? And there has been an energy transfer that does happen, okay? Whether that's you had like parasitic entities feeding off of you, being in a very negative environment and that seeping your energy and seeping into your energy and stripping away your aura, okay? Whatever this is that needed to be addressed, I feel like it's been addressed. Yeah, so it's a very intense purification process. You may even feel like at times you're literally on fire, okay? But that's because of this process that's going on internally, okay? So if you're having like hot flushes at times, it could be because of this, especially like I say, if you've really been taking time out to yourself, with yourself and doing this work, then you could feel like those hot flushes coming through, or, you could feel like intense energy, okay? That could be this. Of course, if it goes on for a period of time, then obviously seek medical advice. I'm not a doctor, okay? Because that could be an underlying condition. But I'm just talking about where you seemingly have hot flashes out of nowhere and they go again, okay? This could be why. Because if you know you've been on this really deep healing journey and doing this work, okay, and really just sitting with these things that are coming to surface, then yeah, you may experience that. It can come through in many different ways. But I feel like, the key thing here is that you are gentle with yourself, okay? And I feel like you have been, okay? Possibly because like it's a big undertaking, okay? And you're doing the best you can whilst going through this process. Or you may have even heard my messages telling you, hey, listen, make sure you take it easy on yourself and you're taking that on board. But either way, I feel like you are doing that. Yeah. And because you're going through this purification process, okay, because you are integrating your shadow, it's bringing a tremendous amount of emotional healing, okay? I do feel like you're more in this soft energy now, okay? You're not having to be hard and closed off and ready to do battle at every moment, okay? Because I feel like, again, the things that were operating at that frequency, or that was trying to get you in that mindset, trying to get you in that frequency, trying to get you to run on that fight or flight programming, survival programming. I feel like a lot of that is being stripped away from your reality because you chose something else. You chose a higher path. You chose not to live survival, okay? You didn't want that to be your timeline anymore. You made a conscious choice not to engage and not to choose that timeline. You chose a more abundant timeline. You chose a more healthy timeline, a timeline where there is a tremendous amount of emotional fulfillment and support and healing, okay? So that's what you're receiving from the divine, because you have to choose it. That's the thing. People often say, like, why is this not happening? But the question is, have you even asked for it? Have you engaged with the universe in that way? Have you made it clear through your expression, through your behaviors, your actions, the changes you're making with it? Are you communicating that to the universe, that that's what you want? Because you have to communicate that, right? Yeah, because people talk about free will all the time, but that's all encompassing. The divine isn't going to do anything unless you express that that's what you truly want. And they know, of course, that it is for your highest good, and so they'll assist you with that, right? So because you chose to no longer engage with anything that essentially is keeping you in the dark in that way, right? Yeah, that's what's creating this shift, okay? I do feel like it has unleashed your inner child in a significant way. Your inner child is starting to feel safe and secure to the point where it's starting to express itself in a way it hasn't done for a long time, okay? So you may find that you're starting to gravitate to certain environments and things and interests and hobbies and all sorts of stuff, okay? That you thought, wow, I haven't even looked at this in years, or I forgot I even used to like that, or I forgot I even had this, It could even be like nostalgia, like memories, little things you used to like when you were young, okay? That are coming into your reality, that are being reminded, that you're being reminded of. And you're like, oh yeah, I remember that, That's because your inner child is letting you know what it needs and wants at this time, what will make it feel at peace, what will make it feel happy, playful, joyful, right? feel like it can liberate itself, you know, fully from the energy that it had been trapped in. Yeah. And so I feel like the divine is asking you to let your inner child take the reins a little bit at this time, okay? Yes, of course, you still have to exercise discernment. You still have to ensure that you do meet certain obligations and responsibilities, right? You know, adulting is still very much a thing, right? But, you know, let your inner child express itself. Let it take the reins every once in a while, and, you know, do the things that really light you up and bring you that sense of peace, okay, and joy in your life. Yeah, don't take life too seriously, because it really ain't all that serious. We're only here for a short period of time in this form, and then we're gone, you know. So don't take it all too seriously. Yes, there are some things that obviously, you know, we shouldn't take lightly, but it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all that heavy, okay, is what I want to say. Yeah. And so with Lilio, Angel of Night, this is the thing. It's like, you know, this divine feminine aspect of self, regardless of your gender, right? This is speaking on your feminine principle, is starting to show up in a major way as well, right? But again, because of this process, right, it's like the masculine aspect of self, you know, endured this process so that the inner child and the feminine aspect could be liberated, okay? So the feminine is able to operate in the way that they need to, okay? In that the feminine aspect of self, the archetype of oneself, can start envisioning and embodying again. It can start to really show up and shine its light once more, okay? So even in times where there's uncertainty, or, you know, the path isn't clear, or, you know, there are secrets, or there's things being shrouded from your sight, okay? When you're in this embodied energy, it's like you trust yourself regardless, and what your intuition, what you're getting from the divine to lead you where you need to be and to shine a light on those things. So that's what I feel like you're doing, okay? It's like being a source of light no matter what kind of energy or environment you come into contact with. So because of you going through this process, it's like you can now show up in any environment as a true source of light, okay? Yeah. Rather than having your light dimmed, or having it consumed by, you know, the more infernal energies that are at play. Not that it was ever truly consumed, but, you know, there was definitely a feeding frenzy taking place at some point. But I feel like, again, a lot of those energies have been obliterated, okay? Burnt away, you know? So, yeah. And that's the thing. Mostly, you know, energy is transmuted, transformed, alchemized, okay? However, even in this deck, there is an angel that's symbolic of the abyssal plane, okay? Where the broken forms, that which is not quite matter, okay? That which is incomplete resides, okay? And so that's what I feel like is happening. Like these parts that needed to be essentially annihilated, eradicated, okay, have been essentially exiled to that plane, okay? And not because, you know, there's parts of you that should be shunned. It's just simply things that is, it's like literally the best way I can describe it is rogue software, right? Like rogue malware. Like its pure intention was to like completely rewrite the system that is your unconscious, okay? To the point where you are not even yourself anymore. And so of course, you know, when something is that detrimental, something that parasitic, needs to be removed. And that's what's happened, okay? So it's not that it no longer exists on any level, it's just not in the physical, okay? It doesn't have the ability to interact in the physical in the way that it once has. It doesn't have the ability to even plague your unconscious in the way that it had in the past, okay? So hopefully this is making sense, because I know this is very like deep and profound, but that's what I'm getting, you know? So, yeah. So that's where I feel like those aspects and energies are now residing, okay? Sort of like in that limbo space, yeah. So interesting. But as a result of all of this, look, new life is being birthed. Yeah, with Suklaf angel of verdancy. So this is a sign, this is a very good sign, a good omen, that new life is being birthed, okay, in your reality, that you have undergone a rebirth, like life restoration has been brought into your being, okay? So your body is going through profound changes at this time, okay? You may be noticing that already. I feel like on a soul level, there has been this sense of renewal, replenishment, okay? Transformation. I feel like on a heart level, there has been a tremendous amount of healing. So this is very powerful, okay? And again, these messages keep coming up about endurance, being able to endure what feels like carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Because you've been carrying the weight of your world on your shoulders. Yeah. In order to reach your destination, okay? Not your ultimate destination, but the destination that this whole process was leading you towards, okay? And that is this new cycle, this new life, okay, that is unfolding. What did I tell you about the death rebirth? We have Azrael right here, okay? Yeah. It is time. This is another omen to say it is time. That which has been, I don't know how to phrase this, but it's like that which has been assigned, okay, to prevent you reaching this destination is now seeing the writing on the wall, okay? So be it certain energies, be it certain circumstances, be it even certain people, okay, whose whole mission has been tasked with essentially breaking you down, stopping you from reaching this destination. They know the writings on the wall, okay? Azrael is the great culling, okay? And so it is time. It is time to essentially put the past to rest once and for all, okay? This is the embracing and the acceptance of the death of the life you once knew. That which you once were ultimately familiar with. Yeah. In order to experience this whole new life, new chapter, okay? And look, see, we even have the heart here, beauty. And look, we have Tiferet, heart, beauty, and Kita, the crown, spirituality. This is about the central point. This is about coming to the center of oneself, coming to the root, coming to the basis of who you are, what makes you you on the most fundamental level. And that is your heart, and that is your spirit, okay, as we see here. Your soul, your crown is representing, it's like your crown is like, it's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like your crown is your representative, okay, for your spirit. That's what I'm getting. And your heart is like, your representative of your soul, okay? So like you have the life force, the life essence, okay, that makes you you and able to interact with this 3D plane. But then you have your eternal soul, okay? That which transcends the 3D. And I feel like that is what this is speaking on. So when both parts of self, the most crucial and fundamental parts of self, are in alignment, are in harmony, have been purified, okay, and has reconciled the opposites in the way that I feel like it's happening, this is where you reach true enlightenment, okay? So that's what's happening. You are on the journey to experiencing enlightenment in the purest sense, okay? So this is a mammoth undertaking. Not everyone is obviously going to do this in their lifetime. I'll be honest with you. There are very few who do. But you are on that path. So you've hit another major milestone. Because now your heart has been purified, okay? You are balanced. Your crown is just like popping off, okay? Yeah. So you're very connected to the spiritual realms. You're very connected to the divine. You're even picking up on what's going on in the lower planes as well, okay? And that's the thing. You have the ability to navigate many different planes, that of the lower world and that of the upper, okay? Your roots reach deep, okay, in both ways, in both directions, above and below. That is the only way you're able to even reach enlightenment, okay? And so, you have this ability to navigate different planes almost seamlessly, okay? That's probably something you've already been doing to some extent, like astral projection, remote viewing, or, picking up certain things in the dream state, okay? Able to see from the perception of the observer from in the dream state, okay? Because your crown, like I say, is very much like popping, okay? And so now with Gabriel, Angel of Heralds, I feel like you're being given a very significant message, okay? A very significant message because you're ready. And it's funny because as I was preparing to do this reading, I was hearing that now is the time for study. Now is the time to adopt the energy of the student, okay? And we have Raziel here, Angel of Mysteries. This is all about being receptive and open to that which cannot be spoken, okay? This is like, an innate understanding. This is where claircognizance and sentience come in. This is being able to feel it and know it within your core, within your being, without anyone directly expressing it verbally, okay? That's why, when it comes to messages that are this profound, it's hard to truly do it justice because you have to feel the message, not just hear the words, okay? Because the words don't do the message justice. It's just a means of conveying the frequency and the notion and the concepts, okay, that are coming through from the divine. But if you are able to connect with the message on its frequency, then you'll hear the greater meaning behind the words, okay? So if you're in this process, if you're on this journey, if you're at this point in your journey, you'll be able to do that, okay, is what I'm getting, okay? If you don't feel like you're able to do that, that's okay. Continue, and I believe you will reach this point, okay? Because like I say, everyone's at different points in their journey, and it's not that, being at certain points makes you better than anyone else. No, it's just a case of you may be learning something else. There may be another fundamental lesson, okay, or understanding that you're coming to that others may not have come to yet, okay? It's just going to be different because everyone's path is different. That's literally it, okay? So don't take it as, oh, you're not there yet. No, okay? Because you may be there, but with something else, there may be something else you're like coming to understand. So it's really not about like who's where, it's just about what's going on in your specific journey, So yeah, but it's time for you to know. It's time for you to understand. It's time for you to learn. So the divine wants you to know that you are ready to receive some very high level knowledge here, okay? Especially with Raziel being he is a gatekeeper of information, okay? Especially that involving the mechanics of the universe and quantum, stuff to do with things on a quantum level and, profound, like arcane knowledge, that's lost to time because, time is really irrelevant when we're talking on this type of, level. But to us, this is something from antiquity, right? Or from far ahead in the future that we feel like we haven't tapped into yet. But all of this is present. All of this is available. All of it already exists. It's just whether you're able to meet it at that point, okay? That point in space and time. By having these quantum leaps, okay? These paradigm shifts, these jumps in timelines, okay? And it's all about frequency and levels of consciousness. And when you reach that point of consciousness, then certain mysteries are revealed to you, okay? If you are responsible with that knowledge, okay? And how you choose, how they feel you will use it, how you will apply it. And so this is confirmation that a specific group has been given access to some truths, information, okay? That's going to help you to not only understand certain aspects of the cosmos, the universe, and the divine a lot better, but it's going to help you to understand certain things in your own journey that's still been unknown or unfamiliar or that haven't been clarified for you, okay? And so there is a lot of clarity coming in. Again, I don't feel like this is something that's going to be verbally expressed. This is something you're just going to receive like a download, okay? But it's like, you're just going to understand it. You're just going to know it, okay? You're just going to absorb that knowledge. That's what I'm getting. Because with Raziel, you know, even in the booklet, the words associated with the book he's carrying is a language that is completely unknown, okay? But it's not something that's meant to be understood in that way. It's something that is felt. So when you read the words, can you connect with the message, okay? That's what I'm getting here. So hopefully that's making sense. I'm doing my best to try and phrase this in a way that can be interpreted, you know, because, yeah, it's a lot, okay? But, you know, that can be understood, not just phrased in a way that can be interpreted. I mean, like, understood, yeah. I'm interpreting the message, but hopefully it translates is what I'm getting. Yes, we have Angel of Dreams, Duma, Cushiel, Angel of Punishment, and Thaniel, Angel of Truth. Hard left leg submission. Okay, so this is exactly what it is, okay? So I feel that, again, the dream state is very significant. There are signs and omens of what's at play at this time. I definitely feel that there has been some form of divine retribution at play, okay? And the truth is being brought to light. The truth is definitely being brought to light. And so those who are hell-bent in being in the energy of the adversary, they're essentially going through a humbling here, okay? These are people that are just absolutely hell-bent on being on the left-hand path, okay? So it's very, very self-serving to the extreme, okay? And so those who are willing to like sacrifice others to reach certain goals in the material, or that are willing to sacrifice others to appease some kind of egoic tendency or egoic need, okay, to feel superior in any way or have power, yeah, they're going through a serious humbling, okay? They'll have no choice but to submit to the divine. They'll have no choice but to submit to their own wishes of their own higher self, okay? Because I feel like even their higher self has been activated in a way where it's now, it's like their own higher self is now issuing out their karma on behalf of the divine, okay? Because they are stunting their own spiritual growth and are actually doing a lot of harm to their own selves, okay? Never mind anyone else. So, yeah. Wow, this is crazy. And it's all because of an action that was taken with this Simical energy. So there could have been certain individuals that was targeting divine counterparts here with Sandalphon, Angel of New Life. I told you about this new life energy. So divine counterparts that have begun this new life, that have begun possibly some kind of interaction or connection, or have come out of this process, okay? It's coming out the other side of this, okay? Yeah, you see, that's the nullness, the emptiness. This is the void, okay? This is where the broken pieces of matter ends up essentially, right? Before coming back to the whole that is source, right? So that's what I mean, okay? So it's like, as possibly counterparts, right? You could call this the twin energy if you want, okay? But this is definitely like divine counterparts, soulmates, okay? These are soulmates who have both gone through this process, okay? That have been targeted in a very malicious way, okay? To, again, because the whole contract that these people had was to prevent this process from being completed. And so they failed in their mission, is what I want to say, okay? And so the trumpets are sounding with Azrael, Angel of Song. We've spoken about this. I even mentioned this in a TikTok reading a few days ago, I think it was, about the trumpets sounding. Yeah, right? Because nothing is lost and nothing is forgotten with Zachariel, Angel of Memory, okay? The threads of memory are forever woven. And so it's like I say, the divine forgets nothing. The divine sees all. And so essentially it's already taken care of, okay? It's already taken care of. So the writing is definitely on the wall. And I feel like for you, this is about your liberation, okay? In a very profound way. Your liberation. Your inner child is liberated. Your heart is liberated. Your soul is liberated. Yeah. Because you have undergone this really intense purification, okay? So it's like a stripping away. We keep getting this. Anything else before I go into the tarot? Anything else before I go into the tarot? Yeah, look, see? The stripping away. This is the energy I was talking about, that annihilation, okay? It has been angel of annihilation. That which no longer serves, that which is a hindrance to what? This frequency, Chetset, okay? Which is very much the right-hand path. That's being of service, okay? Being of service to oneself, okay? On a very profound and high level, on a very ascendant level, but being of service to the whole, to the collective, to the divine, to source, okay? Yeah, that's what this is about, okay? This is being of service. So anything that prevents you from being able to fulfill your mission, fulfill your purpose, fulfill essentially your life, okay? Which is you are brought here to be this right hand of the divine, okay? To be a light in the world. As we say, the light in the darkness, a lighthouse is being eradicated, okay? It's being removed. You don't even have to think about it at this point. It's already done. That's what you need to know. It's done. Yeah, it still wants to come out. It's done. So that's all you need to know from the divine side. It's like, look, you've been wanting answers. You're wanting to know what's going on, okay? All you need to know is it's done. There's other things we're going to reveal to you that you need to know, because it's going to benefit you and it's going to help you to understand certain things so you can move freely, okay? Yeah. So tell me more about this. What else is it the divine revealing, relaying about all of this that we've just discussed? Yeah, we have the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, nice. Tell me more. The Hermit, okay. Tell me more. The Temperance card. The Five of Swords, exactly, yeah. The Two of Swords. The Knight of Cups and the Seven of Cups with the Hanged Man. So again, this is gaining perspective, okay, on situations, on energies, on things that are currently playing out for you. This is it pertaining to on a community level, okay, on a collective level, okay. So yes, whilst this is very personal and internal and it's happening within you specifically, if you resonate with this, this is a process that's happening throughout the collective, okay. That's why there's so many people that are resonating with this at this time. And there's a lot of people who are feeling the intensity, okay, of going through this process. But I feel like now a lot of people are coming out the other side of it, okay, at least this wave that's been going through this. So I do feel like, you know, those who come out the other side of this process, okay, are definitely going to feel that sense of renewal and are going to be ready to connect, okay, with new energies, new people, new environments. Yeah. So best believe, as a result of coming through this, you are going to connect with members of your soul tribe. There's going to be a huge blessing that is bestowed upon you, okay, that's going to be symbolic of you completing this process, okay. I do feel like it's something that's going to help you to achieve a significant milestone, okay, or to experience some kind of prosperous change of lifestyle, okay, or it's going to be the very thing you need in order to move forward, to take that step even further on your journey, or to fulfill some kind of calling or mission that you have, okay? A mission statement, a life purpose, a soul mission. Yeah. So what the divine wanted you to know is that this was already available to you, but we needed to prepare you to take on this role, okay? To be this temperance angel, okay, to again be of service in some shape or form, because that keeps coming through as well, to be of service, to be on the right hand of the divine, okay. Yeah. So you had to go through certain things, you had to experience the dark, you had to see it up close and personal in order to be able to be of assistance, to be able to help those navigating that path. Because for a lot of you, you are on the path of a healer here in some shape or form, okay? So by experiencing these things yourself, you know how to heal them. You know how to combat them, okay, on that level. And it has opened you up to greater levels of empathy. So even if you've always naturally been very empathetic, okay, I'm not just talking about being an empath, okay, but just having a lot of compassion, okay, I feel like it has given you an even deeper sense of compassion. Yeah. And not only that, but when you feel like your heart space is being triggered, for example, when you see someone going through something, you know, when you were really in the thick of it, it may have been too much for you, you know, because you don't feel like you like seeing people suffer, you know, if you resonate with this. But I feel like now, like, your emotional strength is like insane, okay? You are very strong emotionally, and I feel like you have a tremendous amount of emotional intelligence. So whilst yes, you will feel for people and you care and you want to support them, you're able to detach enough so that you can provide support, so you can, you know, step in and provide assistance where you're able to, okay? Because otherwise, if you don't have that certain level of detachment, you know, you're not going to be of benefit to them, okay? You're just going to end up taking on their energy. And I feel like that's something you experienced a lot in the past, where you would just absorb so many people's energies, right? You know, those who are going through it, or those who, you know, try to play victim and play off your empathy, you would end up absorbing a lot of that. So that's what a lot of this process has been about as well. Stripping all of that away, which isn't yours, okay? Isn't yours to carry. Yeah, and unfortunately, there are some people, possibly members of your family or your community, okay? These are people close to you that knew this about you, okay? And intentionally put you in situations or try to trigger certain responses or treated you in a certain way, communicated, said certain things to you, okay? In order to ensure that happens, okay? Because these are people, as you can see here with the palmistry, these are people that thought that they could have direct sway and influence over your destiny, over your fate, okay? How things would play out in your life. You could have even had like a cult or a coven doing this to you, okay? You know, because unfortunately, I know there are people out there who have, you know, been subjected to, you know, ritual abuse, okay? Whether that's in the form of something, you know, satanic, you know, Luciferian, something along those lines, or even religious, okay? Yes, it does happen, unfortunately. There are religious cults that inflict a tremendous amount of harm on people. And so, you know, you could have experienced that, okay? As part of this intentional programming and attempt to break you down even on your spirit level, okay? But it wasn't successful, and that's why these people are confused, because why? You're still in the Ace of Pentacles energy. If anything, you've actually been liberated. Where they try to sacrifice you and break up, oh, this is really tough, okay? So just bear with me, because it's not easy to relay this to you, and I don't want to upset you, but you know, if you resonate with this, you'll understand why this is coming through, and it's to free you, okay? These people intentionally try to break you down. And you see how this man is stretched out in the star. It's giving very much ritualistic. It's like they try to take, you know, break you down into separate parts, you know, like an arm, a leg, a head, a torso, right? And each part would represent a certain thing, a certain means of being able to manifest something that they wanted, right? Again, very, very twisted, very nefarious, very infernal, okay? And that's why the divine's response is very strong, because this is absolutely forbidden. And so when people take such drastic and heinous actions and measures, the divine have their hands forced. And so they are then required to take very strong measures themselves and have a very strong response. So if you experienced anything like that, know this. These people are being dealt with in the harshest way possible. Not only because it's a direct consequence of their actions, and that's the energy they put out, so it's coming back around, okay? And that's how it's being balanced out karmically in the universe. But to also set a standard, a tone, and make an example of these people. Because best believe, people think the divine just lets anything fly. No, you have free will. What you do with that free will is going to have certain consequences, okay? And so just because these people were able to do it doesn't mean they should, okay, right? And so because they've done it, something that you're really not supposed to do, okay? It does break fundamental universal laws here, okay? That we are governed by. Yeah. There is a very strong response to this. So it's no joke. Yeah. So you may be finding out some information pertaining to that. You may already be aware that this was attempted on you, okay? Again, we saw the dream state. You may have even seen it in a dream, okay? For others of you, you may have actually, because, you know, they summoned you, like, you know, possibly brought you to a location if you were taken there against your will, or, you know, if this was like a summoning on a spiritual level, right? You may have seen what these people were doing or got a glimpse of it. You astral projected because they called you, okay? So, yeah, but either way, there is something about this that you're already aware of, but there's going to be more insight, okay? But the divine wants you to know it wasn't successful, okay? They really tried it, okay? And they did conjure up a couple of entities, okay, that are no jokes, I'll be honest with you. But it wasn't successful. Okay, it wasn't successful because the divine only allowed them to be able to do this so that it would trigger this process, okay? It would trigger this process of you going through the dark, understanding what happens, what people do, what they're capable of, how they're able to carry out certain things. And best believe, this group has done it before to other individuals. Maybe in those cases it was successful. Maybe the people that they targeted didn't have the resolve or will or strength, okay, to overcome and gave up. Okay, it's possible, unfortunately. But you are different. You're geared for this. That's why you are the temperance angel, okay? Like you survived this. And not only that, look at you. Knight of Cups energy. You are free. It actually broke your inner child free. They thought they were sacrificing you, but they actually liberated you, right? It's like you were woken up out of your slumber. It was like a sharp wake-up call. Like, wake up. Do you not know who you are? Do you not know what's happening? Wake up. You need to wake up. It's that kind of thing, right? And it's like snapping back into reality and realizing, oh shit, yeah, I am this divine being. I need to do something here. I need to take action. I need to take my energy back. I need to take my power back. I need to purify this out of my system. I need to go through the process in order to heal. I need to see this face on, head on for what it is. And that's what you did. And so now I feel like, you know, when it comes to you coming out the other side of this tunnel where the light is, right? You're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel now. You're going towards the light. You come out the other side and you see paradise. You see bliss. You see joy. You see an energy that is so profoundly beautiful and divine and ascendant and heavenly to an extent you've never experienced before. And you bask in it fully. And while you're doing that on a 3D level, on an emotional level and spiritual level, the divine is weighing your heart to see, was this successful? Did you truly see it all the way through to the end? Were you able to shed what you needed to shed? And so your heart is being weighed with the feather. And that is going to determine what happens next. But what I can tell you, for those of you who resonate with this, for many of you, I feel like you passed with flying colors. You went through it. You allowed whatever needed to come to the surface, come to the surface. You faced whatever truths you had to face. Okay? And you still are. And look at you, soaring, chariot energy, transformation. It literally says it on the card. You have your wings. Whether you see it physically doesn't matter, because in the physical, this is how you look. You're still a temperance angel. In the astral, that's how you actually look. So you've been recognized as one of their own because of this work that you've done through yourself, on yourself. Yeah. And so now, boom. You work directly for the divine. You work directly with the benevolent forces at play in the world. They see you as part of their team, as one of their own now. That's what you need to know. If you made it through this process, you have ascended dramatically. Like, you are recognized as one of their own. Literally an angel on earth now. That's how they see you. Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. And so it's time to build your inheritance here on earth. Your legacy. That which will precede you. And best believe it's not just about wealth. That's just such a surface level aspect of it. It is the energy signature. It is the story. It is the mission. It is the purpose. It is the frequency that will transcend you, even when you leave this plane. Yeah. See, this pouring, divine pouring. This is good fortune, abundance, okay? Prosperity, nourishment, renewal. Being poured into you as what? A divine being, an enlightened being. I'm telling you, this is for someone who is going to achieve enlightenment in this lifetime. Yeah, Six of Cups. So drawing upon everything you've experienced in past lives, in your past, in this life, all the different paths and doors and situations you had to navigate in order to reach this level of understanding. And how is it you're able to accomplish it? Not just only by going through this process, but what did we talk about in the beginning? Adopting the mind of the student. Beginner's mind. Always being open. Always being curious. Not being closed-minded. Not assuming. But allowing insights and information and experience to shape your perception. And being open enough, humble enough, willing enough to learn new things and evolve your level of perception based on the new insights, the new information and knowledge that you hold. So you're constantly adapting on it, growing, evolving with it, right? And that's the problem. That's the problem where you grow up in environments and institutes and, communities where there is a lot of oppression, where there is a lot of control over the flow of information, and especially when it comes to ingrained beliefs, enforced beliefs. Yeah. That actually prevents you from being in this energy, from, experiencing this level of enlightenment. And so you definitely had to break free of something here in order to reach it. So like I say, whether that's social conditioning, whether that's religious conditioning, whether that's some kind of occult, conditioning, whatever it is, whatever it is, it does require you to have a very broad perspective. Yeah. And so now you are the wounded healer no more. You are just the enlightened being. But that's what you're becoming right now. You're going from the wounded healer to the healer. And you're going from the healer, right? You're going from the wounded healer to the healer, right? The earth angel. And you're going from the earth angel to the enlightened divine presence. So that is ascended master level. And because of that, you won't actually have to incarnate again with the Ten of Wands. So I'm talking to a very specific group of people who will not actually have to reincarnate after this. You can choose to, but you won't have to. Because I feel like whatever you were sent here to do, you're going to fulfill it regardless. We see the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. You could be seeing 10-10 a lot, right? So you succeed, okay? So then after that, it's up to you whether or not you want to come back down again, you know? I know a lot of people don't want to, but you'll have that as an option, but you won't need to. You won't be obligated. There won't be any contractual pressure in any shape or form, yeah? So I'm telling you now, the omen's already there. So any sort of group, especially any kind of coven, cult, religious sect, order, okay, brotherhood, whatever, anything of that nature, right? Congregation that has been tasked with preventing you from sort of like, it's like reaching divine status in its like highest expression, okay? Like I say, like reaching ascended master status. They failed and they know it. Three of Swords, they're devastated because they know what that means now. Because their own ability to not only thrive but be able to survive was heavily dependent on you falling, because that's where they put all of their chips, right? They threw all their chips in with this lot, with this contract, okay? And so because they haven't been able to do that, what does that mean for them then? Nothing good, I can tell you that now. And they know it. They see the writings on the wall with that crystal ball in her hand. Yeah, she knows. I say she because it was a woman in the car, but this group knows the writings on the wall. Yeah, the writings on the wall. We have the Four of Wands, yeah? Because you're here to stay. That's what you need to know. You're here to stay. It's like you started this war, the divine is ending it. You see Mars energy here on the card. You started this war, the divine is ending it. Yeah. So they've triggered some very intense energies, okay? It is giving like those like warlike deities, you know, like Aries and you know, like I say, Mars energy, right? But yeah, it's not looking good for them, okay? It's not looking good for them because like I say, you're here to stay. You're not going anywhere, okay? And the divine is making that abundantly clear. Yeah. So now they're under divine judgment. Whew, crazy. Yep, they're under divine judgment. So, yeah, you've broken free, you've done it. So whatever stronghold there was over your life, and whoever made this pact, okay, with this group, with this this entity, let's just say that, it's finished. It's finished. So that's it. That's all you need to know regarding that. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more that comes to your insight, that comes to your awareness, sorry, is what I want to say. You're going to get a lot of insights. But what you need to know is this is done, okay? Like I say, the writing's already on the wall. I mean, there's a reason I left this card here. It looks dark, it looks heavy and scary, but it's all about, again, perspective, perception, right? If you fear change, if you fear death, if you fear transition, then yeah, this will be terrifying for you. But if you don't fear those things, if you understand that it's just a process, it's just part of life, then you have nothing to fear. And especially when you know that you weren't the one doing these heinous things, you have nothing to fear. What you actually have is something to look forward to, and that is a new life. The life that you've always been deserving of. But you've just had some very intense energies try and prevent you from reaching it, okay? But it's happening regardless. Wow, deep reading, but you know, it needed to be said because, like I say, this is going to resonate for a very specific group. I don't think it's going to be many people at all that will resonate with this. A very specific group, but you will know within your being, okay, if this is for you. And if it is, then this is testament to who you are. Like, literally, after this, no one can tell you anything. Like, literally, no one. And you should not acknowledge what anyone has to say about you at this point, good or bad, even. Like, you can say, oh, you know, if they compliment you, yeah, nice, great, thank you. But it really bears no weight, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying that in a horrible way or to be mean or dismissive, but, like, no one can tell you anything about you at this point. They really can't. The only person that, or should I say, the only energy that can is the divine. That's literally it. Because, I mean, it speaks for itself, honestly. The message really speaks for itself. So, the best days lie ahead, okay? You are literally reaching paradise, okay? You've been through the hellscape, okay? More than once, okay? You've been through the hellscape. You've experienced limbo, okay? I feel like that's where you have been recently. But paradise is literally opening to you now, okay? But you are tasked with helping others. That's the point, you know? And if you do that, I'm telling you now, you won't have to go through any of this ever again. Because you've already learned everything you needed to know. And then on top of that, you know, not only have you transcended the paradigm, you know, the earthly plane, but you've also helped others. So as far as the, you know, the divine is concerned, it's like you've done your part, okay? That's like the energy here. It's just a case of if you want to come back and help others, then of course. But you're not obligated to. Right? That's what I'm getting. So I hope this helps. I mean, like I said, I'm not sure everyone's going to get this message, to be honest with you. But like I say, for those who it's really for, you'll get it. You'll understand, okay? But yeah, if you do find it useful, if it did make sense to you, please hit the thumbs up. That will let me know that it did actually translate, okay? And yeah, just know that I'm telling you, like, I don't think you understand just how deep this is. Like, I think you get a sense of it because obviously you're going through it. But honestly, it's mind-blowing. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's just very, very profound. And yeah, like, you are just starting to realize as a result of going through this and coming out the other side who you really are. Because it takes someone incredibly powerful to be in the position that you're now entering, okay? So take care of yourself, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.